nature update today as I sit in my car in the cold, gray, wet snow, waiting for my kids. I thought I would take this time to talk to you guys a little bit, like I said I would, about what led me to start this diet, how it's going. Obviously, I'm going to talk about how it's going because it's what I would want to know. So everybody must want to know that. And my journey, I guess, in a way, to like that led me here. Um, my health issues, I guess, skyrocketed after I had my second baby. First, starting with my eyesight, it went down. Like, I went from never wearing glasses to all of a sudden needing them 24/7 within like 6 months of giving birth to my second child. Um, so at that point, I knew, okay, my hormones have an attitude. They're going to be interesting to deal with. And then following that, just a bunch of little things started happening. My hair started thinning. My nails were always breaking. I was always cold. I always felt sick. I caught stuff really easily. As soon as something was going around, I would get it. And my doctor ended up eventually suggesting I lose some weight. Obviously, I had a good amount of weight to lose after having had two babies so close together, and I hadn't really focused on that. I guess it wasn't really an issue for me until my doctor brought it up, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, I mean, she was right in the long run. So she suggested, actually at the time, it was called Atkins still, and she's like, that might be good for you. So I did do that for a while. I'm actually going to insert right here, because this view isn't anything fancy anyway. I'm going to insert different book covers of diets that I ended up following through the years, and I followed a ton. I don't even actually have books for all of them. Some were documented, some made sense. Others were kind of out there, but I followed them anyway because I had friends that were following them. I did every type of regime that exists. Some where you have to go somewhere and get weighed, some where you do it on your own, some where you have to go and buy their food or it doesn't work. Spoiler, diets where you have to buy special packaged food will never work. I tried so many different things that I'm actually convinced that just completely messed up my metabolism and my ability to even function properly. And like years went by through all these ups and downs and yo-yos of different things, and I gained weight and then I lost weight and then I gained again and lost again and gained again, and I did that so many times through the years that finally at a certain age, I feel like my health just kind of started going downhill like really fast. And this is when I was like cold and I was always not feeling well. And I had decided to start eating vegan. And I went like full on vegan, full on wrong, 100% the wrong way. Did no research. I didn't inform myself. I didn't make sure I was getting vitamins and nutrients. I didn't even know. Like, to be uninformed would be such an understatement. Like, I knew nothing of what I was doing. Anyway, long story short, I ended up becoming severely anemic. Like, severely anemic. And at this point, I've like taken time off work because I'm feeling burnt out and my brain just isn't working and I feel tired just going up the stairs, and like I can't function. I just can't basic functions. I was unable. My digestive system was all over the place. My intestinal system was like completely out of whack. Everything was wrong. I was having migraine after migraine after migraine. My time of the month was like a horror movie. Every single time I thought I was going to die. The pain was unbearable. Like everything was going bad. And then finally with some blood work, my doctor realized, oh gosh darn it, you're super anemic, you're super depleted in all of these different, like, what's going on? And then I'm like, well, I've been trying to be vegan. And she's like, you're not doing it right. So anyway, I quit that, and then I jumped on the keto bandwagon that was just starting. This is about like 4 years ago. And again, there wasn't that much info about it back then, except that it was like a really fast way to lose weight. So I did that for a while, lost a bit of weight, then I gained it back, because obviously you get bored. You just get bored eventually of this restrictive type of eating. It's not that it's restrictive food-wise. It's just restrictive mentally, because you know, these are what I'm allowed, these are what I'm not allowed, this is what I have to do, I have to have the fat, I have to, and it just became like too much. So then I quit that, and then I tried some diets where you go to the place and they make you pee on the thing, which basically basically a keto diet that these people were making me follow. It just wasn't called that. It was called something else. I only have like shopping bags of this one because it doesn't exist anymore because the company shut down. Hint, hint. But then I followed another version of the same thing. I think it's the same company. They just changed names. Honestly, that's another hint that it's not good. But I did that for a while. It didn't work. And then something happened. I had a friend start keto, and I was like, oh, I should start again at the same time as her, and it'll be good for me. And at this point, I have all the physical symptoms I said earlier, but I also have inflammation in my joints. So my fingers are hurting, my wrists are hurting, my elbows are hurting. Like, I couldn't be like this ever. I had to always have my arms out like this. So just try and imagine like how many activities you can do with your arms like this all the time. I literally couldn't bend them. Like, it hurt too much. And then I had my hip bones and your pelvis, the pelvic bones that you sit on, they were so painful. Like, I couldn't stand to be sitting too long, and when I would stand up, I would have to like stretch my legs out because my butt hurt all the time. And so anyway, long story short, my friend was starting keto, and she was like, she bought all the books and she was doing it. And then my sister was like, oh, I'm going to do it too. So I was like, okay, this is a sign. I should do it again, and I should do it right, and I should really invest. And so I bought all this stuff. Well, all the stuff. I bought like the almond flour and the big jug of coconut oil, and I started having my bullet coffees, and I was buying like bacon and butter. And every time butter was on sale somewhere, my mom would text me like, there's butter on sale here. Do you want me to grab you some? And it became like a thing. And everyone was losing weight, and I lost a bit of weight too, honestly. I lost somewhere between like 10 and 15 pounds, which is what I always lose on every diet when I start. And then for me, it stopped. Like, the benefits stopped. I started getting migraines again. My time of the month was still horrific. I was still feeling tired and weak and anemic, even if I was eating tons of red meat, like way too much red meat for a human to consume. Too much red meat, too many animal products. I was doing all the things, and I wasn't feeling better. The inflammation was there, like everything hurt, and it wasn't working. And I was seeing like everyone else succeeding. And finally, one of my friends, who has always been more of a vegetarian, earthy, vegan type person, very natural, she was like, maybe that way of eating is just not for you. Maybe your body is just not having it. Anyway, and she suggested, why don't you like stop with the keto? And this is around Christmas of this year. After a full year of being off work, started out being on sick leave because I was completely burnt out. And it ended up being me asking them, either you give me a sabbatical year because I need it physically, like that's where I'm at, or I quit. And at first they weren't willing to give it to me. They gave me such a hard time while I was on sick leave, making me go see arbitrary doctors to disprove that I was actually sick and all this and that nonsense, really. It just made everything worse for me, like emotionally. Finally, someone new was on my work team, and she said, I'll talk to the boss. Just send me another request for a sabbatical, and I'll make sure it gets approved. So I did that again, and lo and behold, it was approved like instantly. So I started my sabbatical March 1st, 2020. If you remember, that's right around, if not right at the time where the world shut down. Like, my children, literally, their last day of school was Friday the 13th of March. That was the last day that they went to school. And then after that, everything was shut down. So my sabbatical year, where I was supposed to take time for myself and grow as a person and decide if that was still the career choice I wanted, which is a healthcare worker in a hospital. I was supposed to have that time for me and take care of myself and get back into shape and get healthy, lose some weight, learn to eat better, do all these things. It all got completely bamboozled by the pandemic, because Now, my kids were at home and my husband was working from home. So the reality set in, and the plan of a healthy year flew out the window. And like a lot of people, I went through a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of insomnia, a lot of worry, not knowing what's going on, not knowing how it's going to get fixed, just ate away at me. And I'm like a stressed person to begin with, so that was so not good for me. And then when I slowly realized around Christmas, crap, I have to go back to work soon, I went and did something really stupid. I tried on my work uniform, my scrubs. They didn't fit. They don't fit. And so I decided then and there, this is December 27th, I decided I need to figure out what I'm doing. This has to be fixed by my back to work date was February 28th, 2021. That's like in a few days. So my goal was figure out what you need to do that's going to be good for your health, that's going to work, that's going to give you results, but that's going to keep you healthy. And then is when I landed on the YouTube page of the woman who changed my life, and I love her so much for it. She doesn't even know I'm alive, but she is amazing. She's so sweet and she's so real and authentic, and I don't know, her personality kind of spoke to me, so I felt like listening to what she had to say versus a lot of YouTube videos of how I lost 100 pounds. It's just bullcrap and there's no actual tips in there. So I listened to one video and it was called How I Lost 70 Pounds on the STARCH Solution. And I was like, what the heck is that? So I watched that video. Then while I was watching another video of hers, I went on Amazon and ordered the book right away because I was like, $15 to potentially change my life is nothing. I ordered the book. This is December 28th that this happened. I had just made myself a meal, like a ridiculous meal. And while I'm eating all this crap, I'm watching these videos about how important it is to eat whole food, plant-based, vegan, no fat, no oil, low salt. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? So anyway, that night I ate that meal. That's actually my last meal that I ate that way. And starting December 29th, when I woke up, I was like, okay, I have potatoes here, so I can do this. I have oatmeal, I have vegetables. I'm just going to go super simple until I get the book. So I watched literally all her videos. Then I went on Facebook and I joined a couple groups. I joined one that's STARCH Solution. And then I joined one that's STARCH Solution, Make Doable Maximum Weight Loss. They're two different groups. One of them is more based on just the concept. The other one is like, the objective is to help lose weight. And that's what I wanted potentially, because I needed my pants to fit. Let's remember, there was a goal. I started, and within 10 days, I had my time of the month again. Now, usually I'm like a 9 to 10 days long that it lasts. And it's like a crime scene, like I said earlier, like hemorrhaging, like nobody's business. And it lasted 7 days this time. And I was like, what's happening? And I went back and looked at my app. I don't know how many times, because I was like, that can't be right. Like, wait, let me check the dates again. It literally lasted 7 days. It was not that bad. Didn't have that much pain. Didn't get a migraine. It was bearable. And I was like, damn. So then when that was done, I weighed myself after like 2 weeks or so. And I had lost like 10 or 11 pounds. And I was like, this might actually work. So that's when I got really invested. That's when like I decided to make a video. I decided to document it. I decided like I need this for me, but I'm going to put this out there for somebody else who maybe I can help someone like that girl helped me when I saw her video. I don't know. So I did the first 15 days. I got the book. I read up, and then I bought a couple extra things that I needed, like egg replacer. I bought nutritional yeast to help with flavor, because I was really like going at it no salt. They're saying like low sodium and try not to. I was like zero oil, 0 salt, 0 fat. I'm not having any nuts. I'm not having avocados. Like I was sticking to like the basics. And honestly, then my second time having my time of the month came around, because now I'm on like 45, 50 days or so. So I've had my period twice since I've been eating this way. This second time, 5 days. It lasted 5 days. I'm like, what? I had pain and I had an insane migraine. But those are normal. Those are hormonal, and I think that's normal. Still, something is going on in my body because something that's been the same for like the past 30 years and now all of a sudden in 2 months completely changes. That's a good thing. Like, that's a win for me. Also, my wrists aren't hurting anymore. My elbows barely hurt. My fingers are okay. I have one finger that's not well. The other 9 are fine. Also, my tailbone still hurts, but not that much. So I'm not in a rush for everything to disappear, and I'm not going to quit just because it's not all fixed and all better. I have not had any, not one, not a sip, not a drop, not a bite of anything animal product or animal product related. That I've stuck to whole foods, plant-based, vegan, no oil, no salt, and I'm down quite a bit of weight. Now, I'm going to film an proper update video because this one is just going to be too long. This was more meant to be like my story and how I got here. But stay tuned because I do have, I think, insane results. And I'm just about almost ready to try on my pants. And I'm going to film that because that's going to be a great moment if it's successful. And if it's not, well, you need to see that too. So that's it for today, guys. Stay tuned for the next video that will be coming soon because this one had nothing to do with an update and I'm due for an update. So there will be an update within the next few days as well. Stay tuned. Stay safe. Keep going, guys. Don't quit. It's worth it, okay? See you soon. Love you. Bye.